What's up, guys? I know you're probably tired of seeing Nuketown, but it doesn't matter today because we are going to be talking about. Okay, we're going to be talking about the recent cease and desist by Activision Publishing and whatnot. So, what do I think of them? Absolutely fucking scummy. Should not. They really go against like free speech, all that shit, just because of the almighty dollar. And they want us to play the new games instead of the old games that are clearly superior. Anyway, so what games am I talking about? SM2 is a modded, fully functioning, brand new Call of Duty that takes all the best things from this game, like Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, everything. Guns, maps, perks, all into a free client that will also have its own progression system and in-game currency that you don't even have to pay for. Think about that. Hint, hint. Anyway, why this game is actually going to be a good thing is Activision doesn't meddle with it. The developers can update it how they want and how they feel and balance it in what they see is right or wrong or however it may be. Now, the other two things, which I definitely disagree with more than the current. I mean, SM2, I definitely have my opinions, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, it is their IP, and there's no, like, infringing laws, unfortunately, that they have been breaking, which is fucking stupid, because they probably have. But the other thing I want to mention is X Labs, and the boy client for Black Ops 3, and potentially here in Plutonium for Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, World of War, all that. So the reason why it's a big deal for these is because these give you completely free security and safe ways to play old games without getting essentially hacked, DDoSed, or anything. Essentially just playing it safe and not really having anything malicious happen to you or your data. So, which I think is obviously a good thing, but apparently Activision does not, because they're just cease and desisting everything. So everyone can go and play the new shitty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, which I just, you know how I feel about it. If you don't, you don't. But I have stated that the last 4 years of Call of Duty have been terrible, aside from Black Ops Cold War, but that game was made in a pandemic, so I kind of give them slack. But while I think Treyarch could make a great game next year, I doubt it, because Cold War exists and their streak system was fucking duty, and Cold War was kind of broken at launch. Vanguard was too, so I don't really trust Sledgehammer this year, even though I am a COD World War II stan. I'm an avid defender of that game because it is a great game. If you go back and boot it up now on at least console. So all these games are perfectly, well, okay, so on console, or COD 4, I don't think you can find a match. World of War is just hacked to shit. Modern Warfare 2, you can't find a match, and it's also hacked to shit. Black Ops 1 is fine, but you also can't find a match. MW3, I think you can, but I'm not sure. Black Ops 2 is completely hacked. Ghost is just a terrible game. I don't recommend it. Advanced Warfare, you're probably going to be dealing with hackers and just prestige sweats running around, Bal 27 killing you instantly, all that shit. But, and then so on and so forth from there. Now, the reason I'm just so pissed about this is because I want to play the old games. I don't want to, like, have to play with skill-based matchmaking, no dead silence perk. No red dots on the minimap. All that usual shit that we come to know and love. As I go on a streak. Oh, hello. Anyway, sound off in the comments, like, what do you guys think about cease and desist, free speech, everything in between. Because this doesn't just affect Call of Duty. Oh, no, no, no. This affects gaming as a whole. Because Activision just showed to, like, 2K, Blizzard, there's like any major corporation that you can literally just go find a small independent group, right? They're making a client, they're making something on your property, and it's like, and while you may have the full right to it of the law, it doesn't feel morally right to infringe upon a small developer just because you have big dick energy like Activision. Like billions of dollars, human resources and like HR and all that out the ass so you can just get away with it essentially with no legal loopholes or anything standing in your way. And honestly, that is just pitifully stupid. And it's ignorant just to agree with the company because, hey, they're doing something I kind of no. Don't do it. Just don't buy this year's COD because it's gonna suck. Look at Vanguard. Vanguard was fucking terrible. And while I do think it is slightly better than the heap of garbage that is Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, it's still plagued with issues like bugs and shit that are absolutely plaguing it to this day. But at the end of the day, all we want is just a fun game to grind, like prestige, all that, like pro perks maybe, stuff like we had here. You know, 15, 20 prestiges or so. A DLC model that was actually pretty reasonable with the COD Elite, that we were getting new maps and stuff every month essentially. And then, but all they want to do is like, oh man, sell bundles. Sell bundles because we already made our money off of you guys. We don't have to keep supporting the games that you poured your heart and soul into. So, bitch, pay us money because we know you will, and your stupid sheep that will just fall in line. No, I'm not falling in line. I'm not buying this year's game, and so should you. And also, just boycott the battle pass, boycott the store. Just, I'd go a step even further and just don't buy anything Activision related. That includes Crash Bandicoot, unfortunately, but just go back, play the old games if you own them, post them, and or just support indie devs, support other publishers that aren't Activision, and say, hey, this is what a successful AAA game should be and should look like in the year 2023, and not your regurgitated garbage that has no content day one, essentially. And now you're probably thinking, it's a bit harsh. Yeah, you gotta. No, shut up. Now, I'm not talking about the devs. The devs, yes, they made the garbage that we play, but they're not necessarily responsible for all the business practices that Activision is doing. Because Activision, on the other hand, is just like, we don't care about community and stuff. We just want your money. At the end of the day, they see us as dollar signs. And nothing more, nothing less. It's actually depressing. And nothing will nothing will come of it unless we like do something. Unless we make a stand, protest, voice our opinions, do it on TikTok, social media, whatever. And I could go on for like another 4 minutes, but I want to circle back to what I was looking at. But yeah. So let me look at successful examples of modded clients. Here, it's great. It's been going on for years. Plutonium is a great way to play on like brand new like custom maps and maps that were originally like DLC that you can basically play for free essentially on Plutonium. But and while what I'm trying to say is and while Plutonium is still up, I don't know when it's gonna go down. And when it goes down, it's gonna be sad. It's gonna like I want to say like millions, but probably tens of thousands of people that use this, or thousands of people that use this and enjoy playing a game without dealing with hackers, essentially. And another or you can look at it the way that Valve and Bethesda and Rockstar have openly supported modding in their games for years on end. Essentially, Rockstar allows you to like roleplay and stuff with Red Dead Online and GTA Online as long as it doesn't have gameplay affecting advantages. Now, alongside that, we have Valve, which just essentially hires the modders and fulfills their vision, but on a grander scale, like front page of Steam type of thing, and which is fantastic because that's what we want to see. We want to see modders succeed. Like I've seen modders that make really good Bethesda mods for like, or mods for Bethesda games like Oblivion and Morrowind, and get hired to Bethesda directly, or even Bungie look at it and be like, oh, you're really good. I'm going to hire you and you're going to work on a AAA development. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's the stuff I want to see from Activision, but unfortunately we're not going to see it because they're not community friendly. They're just a bunch of cunts. And I know that's like a really mean word to say, but they are. But I know, okay. But Activision has QA testers. QA testers aren't really, like the QA testers, the devs, they literally have to, like, no matter what conditions that Activision is setting for them, they have to work for a paycheck, essentially. Whereas the higher ups can just make stupid decision after stupid decision while making $1 billion in like 10 days. It's unacceptable. It's borderline criminal. And honestly, it's scumbaggy. It's scumbaggy to the very core of capitalism, in my opinion. And it's like, oh, capitalism? I didn't know this got political. Well, finances are politics anyway. And Bobby Kotick was on Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book. I'm part of that whole island that he had, so, you know, put two things together, and then you get a shitty person like Bobby Kotick that just oversees shit after shit after shit. Because he's the guy that oversees crappy games like Call of Duty Ghosts, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, and Guitar Hero Live. Basically, you killed Tony Hawk and Guitar Hero very well, I might add. And I think Call of Duty's going down that route, and eventually we'll be there. They'll stop making billions and be like, oh, we gotta cancel this series and put it on the shelf. And then what happens to Crash Bandicoot? What happens to Spyro? What happens to other franchises that are under the umbrella of Activision? I'm sorry I'm pissed about it, but I wanted to vent on here. See you guys next time when I see you. Peace!